My name's Sue Woolley. I'm a fifth generation Unitarian, very proud about that. And I'm District Minister of the Midland Unitarian Association and also Minister of the Banbury Fellowship. And the outstanding social action thing that Unitarians have been involved with, as far as I'm concerned, is Send a Child to Hucklow. And I did a 10k race for them last year and raised £1,000. So I suppose that's personal social action. But the fact that they've enabled kids from deprived areas to have a totally memorable week completely outside their normal environment is wonderful. We've always had a tradition of being involved in social issues, going right back to slavery. I mean, anti-slavery rather than slavery. I mean, perhaps it's because we've always been perhaps a little bit against the government because we started off as a persecuted minority, so we know how it feels to be one. So we'd like to fight for other people to have equal rights. One of the things that I'm fairly passionate about is the work of the Peace Fellowship. We've just had our annual general meeting and got 2 new people on the committee, and we've got some good ideas for perhaps taking peace workshops around to different congregations, because I think the thing with a social issue like peace and working for justice and compassion is that it has to be done on a local level, starting where you are. It's got to be grassroots. There's no point saying, this is what we think. It's got to come up from the bottom. When I was a teenager and went up to uni, having been brought up by conservative parents who always voted Tory and thought the nuclear deterrent was a wonderful thing. And then I got to college and found out about things like the Peace Pledge Union and the Anti-Nazi League and CND, and just thought, wow, I really agree with all this. And also reading Testament of Youth by Vera Brittain when I was about 17, which had a really profound effect on me. What we need to be doing, in my opinion, is actually getting out into the community like Bob did with his asylum seekers up in Oldham, for example, or like the Kidderminster congregation does with the Mags Hospice, and actually working with people and helping people, because the most important thing for me about religion is that it not that what you believe, it's what you do.
Can you imagine ways that we might be helpful to congregations? Can you imagine ways that an organization like Simple Gifts, that is somewhat grassroots, could help?
As you know, you came to talk to our district last weekend, and I think by actually going out to districts and explaining what you're doing, explaining how small scale it started, might actually inspire people to do something. And also because you've now got 18 months of experience and you've got lots of good ideas about how to implement your vision of social action, then perhaps some information pack or something could be produced that could be sent out to congregations to give them an idea of where to start. We had a Peace Fellowship gathering a couple of years ago in Norwich and found out that they are doing absolutely fabulous stuff for refugees. But I'd never read about it. It's knowing about it. And I found that day in Norwich really inspirational, what they were actually doing.